The war between Earth's Exodus fleet and the Xylar Dominion had ended with fire and silence. 15 ships entered the alien nebula. Only one came back, half-crushed, engines dead, crew missing. Among the survivors was Captain Rhys Calder, a soldier from a species of the Xylar called soft-body primates. When Rhys awoke, he wasn't in a cell, but in a throne room made of obsidian veins and living crystal. At the far end, seated upon a floating dais, was the Xylar Queen herself. Queen Xylar of the Ninth Brood, 8 feet tall, silver-scaled, crowned with bioluminescent horns that pulsed with each heartbeat. Her guards, armored in bone plating, towered over Rhys like statues. His hands were bound with metallic vines that reacted to movement, tightening if he struggled. Xylar studied him, her slit-pupiled eyes glimmering with disdain. So this is what the humans send to negotiate peace? A single male? Rhys straightened his back, ignoring the burning tightness around his wrists. The others are dead. I didn't come to negotiate. I came to survive. That made her laugh, a deep, echoing sound that made the crystals in the chamber hum. You have courage, little creature, but survival is not something you can negotiate with me. When she stood, her movements were fluid and commanding, the grace of a predator that never feared being hunted. She walked toward him, towering until her shadow engulfed him. "Tell me, human," she said, lowering her head, "how do your people multiply when you're so fragile?" Rhys met her gaze. "The same way we win wars, persistence." That made the Queen's fangs show. "Persistence," she murmured. "Perhaps that's why you're still breathing." The guards expected her to order his execution, but instead, she waved him away. "Take him to the lower quarters. Feed him. I want to know what makes these humans think they can challenge the brood." And so began Rhys Calder's captivity beneath the Xylar throne. Middle, the experiment of bloodlines. Weeks passed. Rhys was studied, questioned, and observed by alien scholars who called themselves gene weavers. They analyzed his DNA, tested his endurance, and measured his brainwave patterns. What shocked them wasn't his weakness, but his adaptability. Unlike most species they conquered, humans had no bioresonant limits. They could heal faster, think abstractly, and even survive minor doses of Xylar toxins. The Queen found herself intrigued. She began attending his examinations, sometimes speaking to him directly. Rhys noticed that her arrogance had softened. Curiosity was replacing contempt. One evening, she asked, "If humans are so adaptive, could they merge with other life forms? Could you bear Xylar essence within you?" Rhys hesitated. "I'm no scientist. But evolution doesn't ask for permission." She chuckled at that. "Evolution requires dominion, human, and dominion requires power." Xylar turned toward her gene weavers. "Run the simulation. I wish to see if such a hybrid could survive." The room filled with whispers. A Xylar Queen had never requested interspecies compatibility research. It was unthinkable, even blasphemous. But she silenced them with one glance. The simulation's hologram flickered to life. A projection of merged DNA strands, human and Xylar. To everyone's astonishment, the pattern stabilized. The hybrid model not only survived, but displayed an enhanced life expectancy. "It's impossible," muttered one gene weaver. "No species should resonate with Xylar blood." But Xylar smiled, her silver scales glowing faintly. "Perhaps this one does." She turned her gaze toward Rhys again. "You see, little human, even your weakness has potential." The challenge of the Brood Council. The rumor spread like wildfire across the Dominion. Their queen was experimenting with a human. The Brood Council, composed of rival queens and warlords, demanded answers. In a hall of echoing crystal spires, Xylar faced them, Rhys standing behind her in chains. "You risk contamination," hissed Queen Lortra of the Seven Brood. "Mixing our blood with theirs is a disgrace." The human genome is unstable, another declared. Even if viable, the offspring will be abomination. Syrinx let them rant until silence fell. Then she raised her voice, calm, but resonant with power. The Dominion is dying. Our birth rates fall every cycle. The stars grow colder, our enemies bolder. Yet this human genome adapts to every toxin, every climate, every condition. If merging with him saves us, then I will bear that shame myself. Gasps filled the chamber. Reese whispered behind her, "You don't have to do this." Without turning, she murmured, "You said humans persist. Let's see if queens can too." The council voted, and barely. She won the right to proceed with the convergence trial. It was the first time in Tyrol history that a queen would risk her body for genetic hybridization. The convergence. The process wasn't some mystical ritual. It was brutal science. The gene weavers extracted genetic material from Reese and exposed the queen's ovum to it through engineered resonance fields. Her biology fought it violently. For weeks she was bedridden, her body rejecting and then adapting, feverish with internal war. Reese stayed near her chamber despite the guards' protests, bringing her water, cooling her skin with damp cloths. When she finally awoke, her eyes had changed, no longer purely silver, but flecked with hazel. "It worked," whispered the chief gene weaver. "Her cells carry human resonance." Syrinx sat up slowly, her body trembling. "I feel different." Her voice was softer, less metallic, and when she looked at Reese, something flickered there, not just curiosity, but connection. The queen had never been touched without command, never been spoken to without kneeling. Yet, when Reese reached out to steady her, she didn't pull away. "You risked your throne," he said quietly. "For what?" "For survival," she replied. "For my people, and perhaps for something I did not understand until now." She smiled faintly. "You humans infect more than just bloodlines. The war returns." Peace did not follow. The other brood saw her experiment as a betrayal. Armadas rose from the outer moons, their ships casting shadows over her citadel. They called her the Queen of Tainted Blood. But Syrinx refused to surrender. She activated the ancient star forges, weapons dormant for centuries, and prepared to defend her world. Reese, though still considered prisoner, stood beside her in the war chamber. "You should leave," she told him. "When they come, they'll destroy everything. Even you." "And if I leave," he asked, "you'll die fighting alone." "I didn't survive my world's war just to watch another burn." For the first time, the mighty queen looked uncertain. Her scaled hand brushed against his, a small, almost accidental gesture of trust. "Then fight beside me," she said. "Let the stars witness what defiance looks like." The war began at dawn. The sky burned with plasma storms as the rival broods descended. The Queen's forces were outnumbered 5-1, but they had something no other faction possessed: human strategy. Reese coordinated ground assaults using tactics from Earth's ancient wars: feints, decoys, guerrilla strikes. The Tyrol soldiers, and used unpredictability, adapted under his guidance. For days, the citadel held, until Queen Lortha herself led the assault, her ship piercing the capital's shield. Syrinx and Reese fought side by side in the throne hall, surrounded by smoke and ruin. "You wanted to prove humans could survive anything," Reese said, panting. "Now's your chance." "And you wanted to prove queens can change," she replied, drawing her plasma blade. "Now's mine." Together, they struck down Lortha's vanguard. But the cost was immense. The queen was wounded, a searing cut across her abdomen. As she fell, Reese caught her. "Stay with me," he pleaded. She smiled weakly. "I told you, evolution doesn't ask for permission." Her hand guided us to her stomach, where faint bioluminescent patterns pulsed beneath her skin. "It's begun," she whispered. The hybrid lives. Ending. The dawn of a new bloodline. The war ended weeks later. When the smoke cleared, Queen Syrinx still lived, though barely. The wound had healed strangely, her body fortified by something beyond Tyrol biology. The Council, in awe of her survival, declared her eternal sovereign of a new lineage. Rhys stood beside her during the coronation, no longer a prisoner, but consort commander of the hybrid Dominion. When the Gene Weavers confirmed it, that her offspring carried both Tyrol and human DNA, the galaxy shifted. The impossible had happened. A union that began as mockery had reshaped evolution. Months later, Syrinx gave birth to a child, smaller than any Tyrol infant, yet radiating strength and warmth unlike any seen before. The Queen, once cold and proud, wept when she held it. "You said humans persist," she whispered to Rhys. "But this is something greater." "Persistence," he said softly, "and hope." She laughed. Not the cruel, mocking laugh that had first echoed through her throne room, but one of genuine joy. The child's eyes opened, glowing silver and hazel, and the Queen's voice trembled. "Let them call us what they wish. The Dominion will survive, and so will love." Outside, the dawn over Dryon burned crimson gold, the color of two species merging into one destiny. And in that light, the once mocked idea of a human and an alien queen ceased to be a myth. It became the foundation of a new civilization, one born from defiance, from courage, and from a love that refused to obey the laws of biology.